A news hour tonight. Federal government warns against flood disaster in 15 states. FCC drivers accuse FRSC of unprofessional conduct. Nigeria, China strengthen cultural ties. On the foreign scene, UN says Guinea to lift opposition ban before election. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. The Federal Ministry of Environment has issued a flood prediction for 15 states and 69 locations, warning that heavy rainfall between 24 and 28 September 2025 may lead to flooding in specific communities. The National Flood Early Warning Center of the ministry made this known in a flood alert on Wednesday, signed by the Director of the Erosion, Flood and Coastal Zone Management Department, Usman Abdullahi Bokani. The advisory is part of the ministry's routine early warning system aimed at preventing loss of lives and property during the peak of the rainy season. Flooding remains a recurring natural disaster in Nigeria, displacing thousands of people annually, damaging infrastructure and undermining food security. According to the National Emergency Management Agency, no fewer than 232 persons have lost their lives, while 121,224 others have been displaced following floods that swept through parts of the country as of September 20, 2025. The data also showed that at least 339,658 people were affected so far, with 681 sustaining various degrees of injuries. Members of a family in Gangari community of Jos North local government area of Plateau State are seeking justice over the alleged rape of their 14-year-old daughter in the area. According to the family members, the suspect is one Ibrahim Rawi, popularly known as Boban Siyama, who was earlier apprehended and later released by some community leaders. Ado Musa completes the report.
According to the victim, Aisha Haruna, who was an apprentice at the suspect chemist, the incident occurred between 7 and 8 p.m. on Sunday when it was raining heavily. According to her, she would usually go to the chemist and return home, but that day, her boss betrayed her.
As an apprentice, I go to the chemist to understudy the business. Unfortunately, on Sunday when it was raining, he closed the door, threatened to kill me with scissors, forcefully removed my clothes and sexually assaulted me.
Her elder sister, Maimuna Haruna, who used to take her home, explained the situation she met the girl in.
I used to take her home, but that day, when I got to chemist, I met her in a strange condition. Around 2 a.m. in the night, I heard her crying and I asked her what happened. She told me that Ibrahim raped her. In the morning, we reported the case to the C Division Police Station. We want justice for our sister.
Meanwhile, elders and community leaders have vowed to ensure justice for the victim.
They reported to C Division Police Station in Jos. I had to make contacts to confirm, yes, they did that. So the person who is the accused, we're looking for him, and I believe that the police have invited him. I don't know whether they are able to effect the arrest, but we are trying to make sure that they effect this arrest so that if he is investigated and found guilty, he should be prosecuted.
It was a person close to the house that came to my office on Tuesday morning and reported the matter to me. And I'm assuring the people of Gangari, the culprit will be apprehended by the grace of God and will hand it over to the authority for prosecution. That is my stand, and that is the stand of this office, and that is the stand of Gangari elders.
While the suspect remains at large, Members of the community vowed to shut down the community if the suspect goes free, calling on security to ensure his arrest. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
From Jos, we go to Kano State, where the police command has arrested a 30-year-old man, Mutuwakilu Ibrahim, for allegedly killing his grandparents during a heated quarrel that reportedly began over a plate of food. According to police reports, Ibrahim, who was allegedly under the influence of hard drugs at the time, attacked his grandparents, 75-year-old Muhammad Dansokoto and 65-year-old Hadiza Tasidi, stabbing them multiple times with a knife. The tragic incident occurred on Thursday morning around 9:30 at the Kofa Donwono quarters in Kano. It was learned that residents quickly alerted the authorities after witnessing the violent altercation. Both victims sustained deep stab wounds in different parts of their bodies. They were rushed to Murtala Muhammad Specialist Hospital, but were pronounced dead on arrival. The Kano State Commissioner of Police, Ibrahim Adamu Bakori, ordered the immediate transfer of the case to the State Criminal Investigation Department, SCID, Homicide Section for a thorough probe. The coalition seeking to unseat President Bola Tinubu has finally settled for the African Democratic Congress, ADC, dissociating itself from the yet-to-be-registered All Democratic Alliance, ADA. According to Bolaji Abdullahi, the National Publicity Secretary of the coalition, this was part of the resolution of party leaders at a meeting which held in Abuja on Thursday. The ADC also asked its members, like Peter Obi of Labour Party, Nasser El-Rufai of the Social Democratic Party, and Senator Aminu Tambuwal of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to resign from their respective parties and come on board fully. Among those present at the meeting were National Chairman David Mark, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, National Secretary Rauf Aregbesola, former Kaduna State Governor Nasser El-Rufai, former Sokoto State Governor Senator Aminu Tambuwal, and former Rivers State Governor Chibike Amechi. The caucus also disclosed that they had concluded on their association with ADA, with Abdullahi saying the coalition has rested everything concerning the ADA. Speaking on the forthcoming 2027 election, Abdullahi said the party's presidential aspirants had agreed to back whoever emerges winner of the primaries. Road safety personnel have come under fire over allegations of harassment and extortion of motorists, with viral videos sparking public debate across Nigeria. Trust TV's Noel Sampson investigates the situation in Abuja, speaking with commercial and private drivers about the conduct of Federal Road Safety Corps officials. His report.
The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, was established to minimize accidents on Nigeria highways by regulating traffic, enforcing safety rules, enlightening the public, issuing driver's license, and responding to emergencies. But allegations circulating on social media suggest some officials are abandoning their duties for harassment and extortion.
Don't scatter the man's motor. Why are they dragging the man's vehicle? Now that they have spoiled the man's vehicle.
To verify these claims, we visited the busy Utako area of Abuja to hear from drivers.
The way I see road safety official, I never see them harass driver. Understand? The only people I know that they used to harass driver is this VIO. But since where the minister stopped them, so every driver is enjoying using the road. But road safety, the way they are doing their work, in fact, I like it.
To be sincerely, road safety harassed us 10 years ago. But now, they need to do like that. And one thing we like road safety, if you arrest you back up. You go pity you, you go. Or if carry you go to their office, at least you know go find you too much money. Nowadays, they not too worry us. If they road, the thing where we like them, they road, under 10 minutes, don't come up for that place. Then we get chance to pass. Not be say we don't get papers, we get. Before, FIO, now we don't like them. Some.
My brother, if you carry overload, forget paper. Overload only is different charges. Now it's 10,000. That one is different charges, so it's different than paper. But many of our drivers here, due to the way we are advancing ourselves, overloading, we can't see it because we don't want that insult. We don't overload. If you don't carry two, you can pass. But if you carry two, you not pass. Like my own drivers here, I talk to them, they don't carry two.
But the road safety, they are okay for us because we see them with their uniform and they're not able to disturb us, and we as a commercial vehicle. As far as you have your license, you have your paper motor, your vehicle is okay, they're not disturbing us. But the VIO, they are the one give us problem for this stuff.
From the commercial drivers interviewed, most expressed satisfaction with FRSC operations. Instead, they rated their compliance at vehicle inspection officers, VIOs, whom they accuse of harassment and extortion. This raised another question. Are FRSC personnel focusing mainly on private vehicles owners? To find out, we spoke with some of them.
Honestly speaking, some of the drivers are not doing what they're supposed to do. The road safety officials are doing their best to ensure things should go smoothly.
The essence of road safety as an institution is not a bad one. All over the world, they will have such similar institutions establishment going around. But there are some bad eggs inside that I termed this to be an extortionist. They wake up in the morning and go around. Instead of correcting people, don't park like this, don't do that. I know sometimes some people are very, 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 very stupid. But if you see somebody who you can talk to and you listen to you, you talk to him and caution him. But they will say you must pay money. So if the authority could fish those ones out, there's nothing bad in road safety operation.
Yeah, myself particularly, no, I've not been harassed. Most of my engagements and interactions with them has been mostly professional. I think that's also to the fact that most times I have most of my papers or all my papers intact and updated. But I've also been informed, I've also seen some things that I believe were forms of extortion. But this was not with me, but I was like an onlooker. Yeah, so to me, yeah, they still have those bad eggs within them, those corrupt bad eggs, but it happens, it happens.
Our findings indicate that while many FRSC officials perform their duties diligently, a few bad eggs are tarnishing the agency's image with misconduct. Efforts to obtain an official response from the FRSC on these allegations were unsuccessful as at the time of filing this report. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
In Ondo State, operatives of the State Police Command have arrested a man suspected of being responsible for manufacturing and supplying firearms to criminal networks within the state and across 4 other neighboring states. The suspect was said to operate not only within Ondo State but also across state lines, extending his illegal dealings to Osun, Kogi, Edo and Kwara states. The arrest of the suspect was sequel to the arrest of 3 suspects in connection with the armed robbery incident in Idele, in which a female was disposed of her unregistered TVs, motorcycle, the sum of 250,000 naira and other valuables, and was also shot in her right leg. The spokesperson of the command, Olushola Ayonlade, made this disclosure in a statement issued in Akure and made available to journalists. Now, according to him, further investigation by the police led to the arrest of the suspect. Ayonlade revealed that 4 suspects linked to the case have already been arraigned in court on charges bordering on armed robbery and attempted murder. Nigerians may experience blackout in the coming days as the National Union of Electricity Employees commenced day strike action on Wednesday over non-implementation of the national minimum wage, casualization of workers and other demands. The industrial action was disclosed in a notice signed by the Acting General Secretary of the Association, Dominic Igwebike, on Wednesday. The union said its decision to commence the strike action follows the expiration of the ultimatum issued to the management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, over its demands. The union said it cannot fold its hands while the Nigeria electricity supply industry, NESI, goes down the drain. Hence the justification for the strike action. The union directed all its members to withdraw services until such time that the management is ready to discharge its obligations towards the workforce. Over 19 buildings were on Thursday pulled down at the new Mandela Plaza within the popular trade fair complex in Lagos as the state government moved in with a heavy security presence to carry out a massive demolition exercise. Reports say the demolition exercise was carried out under heavy security with a convoy of trucks from the Lagos State Task Force, Rapid Response Squad and tactical teams stationed around the plaza. The stern-looking officers restricted access to the premises and set away traders who attempted to record the exercise. At the time of filing this report, selected buildings inside the plaza were already reduced to rubble, sparking outrage from shop owners who claimed they were not served prior notice. It was guarded that no fewer than 19 buildings valued at over 150 million naira each were affected by the exercise. When contacted to clarify the role of the task force, its chairman said the operation did not originate from his office. As at press time, there is no official statement from the Lagos state government on the demolition, but security operatives remained on ground to forestall any breakdown of law and order. A three-story building with 4 suspended floors located behind the Anambra State House of Assembly, Okonoka, the Anambra State capital, has collapsed. It was guarded that the building, still under construction and at the roofing stage, suddenly caved in at about 11:40 a.m. on Thursday. The development threw residents and passers-by into panic as it was guarded that some yet to be identified number of occupants, especially construction workers, were trapped in the rubble. Eyewitnesses near the scene said the structure suddenly caved in without any prior sign, adding that the number of workers and other occupants trapped could not be ascertained yet. The cause of the collapse and casualty figure has yet to be ascertained, but some officials from the State Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria and the Materials Testing Department are already on ground to ascertain the cause of the collapse. It was a chaotic situation at the scene as rescue efforts were being hampered by a lack of logistics and other necessary equipment such as excavators. As part of efforts to curb the rising cases of gender-based violence in Nigeria, religious leaders and stakeholders have called on citizens to adopt Islamic teachings that emphasize peace, dignity, and protection of women and girls. They made this known at a 2-day dialogue on Islamic perspectives in preventing gender-based violence and the launch of Form 1's guidelines on the role of Muslim opinion leaders in addressing conflict-related SGBV. Habibat Ajayi tells us more in this report.
At the occasion, participants underscored the importance of education and community action. The event was organized by the Development Research and Project Center, DRPC, the Center for Islamic Civilization and Interfaith Dialogue and Partners, with support from the Ford Foundation.
Recently, the DRPC has supported Muslim opinion leaders to rapidly respond to situations of abducted girls in Niger State by working with Form 1 and with communities to ensure that survivors of the abduction are accepted back into the communities and not stigmatized.
Assuredly, Islam is not a religion of murdering and maiming of human beings. Any individual that ascribes self to Islam and does not honor and protect human life or the dignity of human personality, especially the vulnerable, that is the women and the children, his actions are away from Islam.
Definitely, we all want peace. We cannot get peace if we are perpetuating violence, if we are coroning the violence within our family. His Eminence, the Sultan said it, the family is the most important pillar of our society. And this is where mostly the violence against our mama, our sister, and our wife happen.
they get enlightened on these issues. They do know the Islamic background of the issue, but it's important also to inform them about the medical, sociocultural, economic basis of these issues and how gender-based violence is harmful to all these issues, and it contradicts the instruction of Islam.
Representing the Kano state government, Rabiu Iliasu highlighted interventions aimed at supporting survivors of GBV.
In furtherance of this commitment, the government provides cash support of 50,000 to vulnerable women and recently approved the Kano Women's Economic Empowerment Policy and Action Plan 2025. This policy targets survivors of gender-based violence, poor and vulnerable women, and the girls.
The Deputy Chief Imam of the National Mosque, Ilyas Uthman, reaffirmed that Islam does not condone violence, stressing that religion should serve as the tools of peace and protection.
Laws and the court cannot find a solution to the phenomenon of violence and its spread in society. Rather, alongside the law, there must be social, family, and school moral education that in turn contributes to preparing the appropriate atmosphere and climate to spread the culture of tolerance and non-violence among individuals.
We are custodians and promoters of societal values and societal norms. Our Islamic scholars have an important role in promoting positive attitude which emphasize on protection and compassion towards women and their protection from violence and abuse.
Declaring the workshop open, the Minister of Women's Affairs, represented at the event, had reiterated the President's commitment to safeguarding the rights of women and girls nationwide. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, troops of the Nigerian Army have neutralized 2 terrorists, apprehended 32 suspects, and rescued 13 kidnapped victims in major operations in the last 24 hours across the country. A source at Army headquarters on Thursday said the operations were carried out in the northeast, north central, northwest, southeast, and south-south. In the northeast, he said the troops of Operation Hadinkai arrested 3 suspected ISWAP JAS logistics suppliers in Borno and Yobe states. In Benue, the source said the troops of Operation World Stroke neutralized 1 extremist in Katsinala and rescued 10 kidnapped victims in Ukum after a gun battle. In the northwest, he said the troops foiled kidnap attempts in Zamfara, rescuing 3 victims in Anka. According to him, 7 suspects, including a kidnap kingpin in Kaduna and 3 in Niger, were arrested. The source urged Nigerians to continue to support security agencies with timely information to sustain the momentum of ongoing operations. You're still on to News Hour on Trust TV. When we return from the break, we take a look at how Nigeria and China strengthen cultural ties. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now a recap of our top stories. Federal government warns against flood disaster in 15 states. And FCT drivers accuse FRSC of unprofessional conduct. 2 more stories. The family of late estate development agent Richard Ekpebu has taken to the streets of Yenagoa demanding justice following the arrest of his alleged killer, George Idumangi. Led by the widow, Deborah Richard Ekpebu, the protesters expressed appreciation to security agencies for their efforts, but appealed to the police not to allow external influence to derail the prosecution process. Trust TV's Friday Mboy Peter reports.
It was an emotional scene for the family of late Richard Ekpebu as news of the arrest of his suspected killer spread across Bayelsa State.
Concerning this case, it's not easy for me to say really. But thank you. It's alright. It's okay. Please, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's okay, madam. Sir, you are really doing a very good work for me. Thank you.
Worried by rumors that some influential figures may attempt to obstruct justice, family members from a Masoma community in southern Niger local government area, alongside members of the Estate Development Union and the Niger Youth Council, marched through Yenagua to press their demands.
I'm here to say thank you to the CP and to the entire police body, please, because we received official reports about a day ago that one of the ambulance driver has been apprehended. So we are here to say we need justice. Police have tried, but please, police should also do more to bring him to book.
You just carry him and go and kiss her, please, I'm begging you. We need justice. It's just justice. We need justice for my brother.
First, I want to commend you because we know the efforts the governor has put in. As an Ijo man, I believe in truth, and I believe the police is going to do justice to my brother and the fellow comrade from Amasoma. And this will be the last Amasoma person who will murder like that in Legua. We are so pained. In as much as we are so pained, we are still commending all the security, parastatal, and authorities that have made sure that the killer of my brother is being brought to justice.
The protest terminated at the Bayelsa Police Headquarters, where they were received by the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operations, Musa Mohammed, who assured the demonstrators that justice will take its full course.
And I want to assure you, on behalf of the state government, that justice will be done up to the judiciary. And I'm sure his case will serve as a deterrent to others who have bad mind and are planning.
Yes, sir.
And I want to send this message of warning to any criminal or anyone who has attempt or any attempted attempt to take life of anybody or go on violent crime in Bayelsa State Police Command.
The late Richard Ekebu was adopted and murdered on July 24, 2025, with his body later dumped along the New Otweka Road near Bayelsa Palm. Friday, Ebumobo Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagoa.
The Katsina State government has sacked 3,488 workers from 34 local government councils and local education authorities after a biometric screening exercise exposed widespread fraud. Governor Dikko Radda, who received the committee's report on Wednesday, said the screening covered 50,172 staff, out of which 46,380 were verified, while the rest were found with fake credentials, ghost postings, absenteeism, or declined to appear. The report was formally presented at the State Executive Council meeting, where top government officials and members of the Biometric Screening Committee were in attendance. The exercise has created the first ever unified digital database of all local government councils and local education authorities staff in the state's history, while projecting monthly savings of 453.3 million naira if recommendations are fully implemented. The 10-member committee uncovered falsified birth certificates, underage employment, illegal promotions, and cases where staff positions were sublet to others. It also recovered 4.6 million naira from officers drawing double salaries or collecting pay while on leave of absence. Historical records suggest that interactions between Nigeria and China date back to ancient times. Cultural relations played a critical role in connecting these two countries, and as part of efforts to deepen that relationship, Nigerians joined Chinese community in the country as they mark this year's Mid-Autumn Festival. Yusuf Kogo reports.
China and Nigeria established formal diplomatic relations in 1971. Shortly after, both countries laid a foundation for contemporary cultural exchanges. The key historical moment, however, was the early performing arts exchange, which resulted in Nigeria hosting the Anhui acrobatic troops from China in the early 80s, which China reciprocated by hosting the Nigerian women's basketball team. Besides this, both countries have embraced the power of film to promote cultural diplomacy. While celebrating this year's Mid-Autumn Festival, Chinese ambassador to Nigeria emphasized that bilateral cultural relations between the two countries serve as the bridge that strengthens cooperation across all sectors.
As the Chinese saying goes, friendship, which derives from close contact between peoples, holds the key to sound state-to-state relations. Cultural exchange, as a vital part of China-Nigeria relations, serves as a bridge that strengthens cooperation across all sectors.
The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism and the Creative Economy, said though Nigeria and China may be separated by geography, their aspirations for national pride, development and progress are well aligned.
As we look up at the same moon that has witnessed the journeys of our respective civilizations, we are also looking forward to a future of deepened collaboration. This dual celebration provides a perfect opportunity to enhance the mutual understanding and friendship between Nigeria and the Chinese people.
The occasion witnessed a celebration of culture, including the elegant performance by the Shenzhen Art Troupe. Yusuf Akogu, Trust Television News, Abuja.
The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has revealed that no fewer than 20 million females in Nigeria have undergone female genital mutilation, despite the practice being outlawed in the country. Speaking at a media dialogue on Wednesday, Chief of UNICEF Lagos Field Office, Celine Lefoucault, stressed the urgent need to end FGM, warning that it poses serious health risk to girls and women. She noted that the harmful practice continues in many states, driven by myths and cultural traditions. According to UNICEF, Nigeria ranks third globally in FGM prevalence. The organization emphasized that the procedure has no health benefits but exposes victims to grave dangers, calling for stronger community mobilization and stakeholder engagement to curb the trend. It called on stakeholders to support the total abandonment of the harmful tradition, saying, "Curtain a girl child denies her autonomy and subjects her to violence, hence the need to eliminate FGM entirely." The federal government has reaffirmed that tuition and approved charges in all federal technical colleges remain completely free, stressing that no Nigerian child should be denied access to technical education because of unauthorized payments. Minister of Education Tunji Alausa said on Thursday via the ministry's official X handle that the government fully funds tuition alongside approved costs such as boarding, uniforms, textbooks, exercise books, ID cards and stationery. Others include clubs and societies, medicals, vocational training, utilities, security, website, e-result, school media, extra lessons and insurance. He warned that no principal or administrator is permitted to impose extra levies on parents or guardians. Circulars enforcing this policy, he added, would be distributed to all schools and parents to eliminate any ambiguity. The minister clarified, however, that while the government covers tuition and major expenses, boarders and federal technical colleges are still expected to provide personal items such as bedding, toiletries, school shoes, uniforms for religious observances, mosquito nets, cutlery, and other essentials. In a bid to strengthen professionalism and accountability within the force, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Moshood Olorundare, has reaffirmed the command's commitment to upholding human rights. The report.
CP Olorundare explained that the IGP's directive underscored the urgent need for police personnel across the country to demonstrate the highest standard of respect for human rights and the dignity of all Nigerians while carrying out their duties. He stressed that these principles are non-negotiable in the Lagos Command.
Where we carry out our responsibilities such as crime prevention and control in the area of stop and search, in the area of preventing crimes, and another area of detecting crime, that we do it with human face. We shouldn't subject Nigerians to untold hardships in the process of carrying out our responsibility. Our personnel have equally been lectured and equally warned to ensure that they don't subject the youth mostly to the issue of bring out your phone, let us search your phone, where there's a report of an incident that have to do with crime. We have the responsibility to investigate all aspects of the matter.
On the state of ongoing investigations, the commissioner confirmed that the case involving the alleged murder by one Shamsuddin Adio is nearing its conclusion.
Is currently in detention at the state CID Panti. An investigation is being rounded up into the case reported against him, and he will be prosecuted. We want people to not to start tagging any association or any union or any offices to criminal activities. It is not done.
He further disclosed that he has issued strict instructions to all levels of command, from headquarters down to outpost, on enforcing the ban on the illegal use of tinted vehicle glasses.
Members of the public should resist any temptation or any pressure from anybody to pay money, whether within the police or outside the police, on the road for tinted glass permit. It is an online application they go through and they call for capturing in the police formation. They have been lectured and they have been warned, and nothing is expected of us than the best. The IGP once again directed that we should emphasize this to all personnel of this Lagos State Police Command, and this what I have done today. So you are going to see a new brand of behavior in respect of the tinted glass permit enforcement.
CP Olondare assured that the Lagos Command will continue working to build public trust while ensuring that justice is not only done, but also seen to be done.
The Joint Task Force in the South-South Zone, Operation Delta Safe, has foiled over 19 million naira worth of oil theft and arrested 39 suspects in connection with various criminal activities between September 13 and September 21, 2025. Also, during the period, troops of OPDS rescued 5 kidnapped victims and neutralized some suspected criminals. Similarly, troops of Operation Udoka in the southeast killed some terrorists, arrested 6 of them, and rescued 3 kidnapped victims. The troops also recovered weapons, ammunition, vehicles, and improvised explosive devices. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Brigadier General Marcus Kange, disclosed this during a briefing on Thursday in Abuja. Kange gave the breakdown of the oil theft as 14,760 liters of stolen crude oil, 3,720 liters of DBK, and 625 liters of PMS. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Cross River State is facing a worsened internal crisis following conflicting directives over the state's Congress to elect a new state working committee. On Wednesday, the party's National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, in an unsigned press release announced the postponement of the Congress, which was earlier scheduled for Saturday, September 27, 2025. Also, an earlier statement by the National Publicity Secretary had directed the South-South Zonal Caretaker Committee, headed by Emmanuel Ogidi, to assume control of the state chapter's affairs pending fresh elections, citing the expiration of the current executive's tenure. However, State PDP Chairman Venatius Ikem vehemently rejected the directive, insisting that the Congress will hold as planned. He accused some former party stakeholders of creating an artificial crisis to impose their preferred candidates while spearheading the emergence of the coalition platform at the same time in the state. Ikem, who is a member of the party's National Executive Committee, NEC, stated emphatically that his tenure remains valid until September 29, 2025. Former APC National Chairman Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has made his first major political appearance in Kano since resigning from his position 3 months ago. Ganduje joined other party leaders at a closed-door meeting of the All Progressives Congress APC Kano State Chapter. The gathering, which held at Abuja on Thursday, was aimed at strengthening the party's structure ahead of the 2027 general elections. A statement is expected after the session, though details of the agenda remain undisclosed. Those in attendance include Deputy Senate President Jibrin Barau, Senator Kawu Sumaila, members of the House of Representatives, and several current and former political office holders in the state. On health matters over in Benue State, the government has reported 243 suspected cases of Lassa fever since January 2025, with 13 deaths recorded. State epidemiologist Dr. Esema Mswega, who gave the updates, said 18 of the cases were confirmed through laboratory tests. According to Mswega, of the deaths, 5 were from confirmed cases, while 8 were classified as probable. Mswega said the State Ministry of Health partnered with the World Health Organization (WHO) in August 2025 to launch a community intervention project in Lassa fever hotspots in an effort to check the spread of the disease. He noted that the project focused on rodent control, environmental sanitation, and cleanup exercises, as well as community sensitization and the training of health workers on case management and referral pathways. The Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, has scrapped the JICA Africa Hometown Initiative over misunderstandings and confusion. Tanaka Akihiko, JICA president, announced the project's termination during a press briefing on Thursday. On August 26, Japan denied planning to create a special visa category for Nigerians who wish to relocate to Kisarazu, a city it had designated as hometown for Nigeria. The rebuttal followed a statement signed by Abiodun Oladunjuye, Director of Information at the State House in Nigeria, who relayed that the Japanese government will create a special visa category for highly skilled, innovative and talented young Nigerians who want to move to Kisarazu to live and work. In its recent statement, JICA said the very nature of this initiative, namely the term hometown and the fact that JICA would designate Japanese local governments as hometowns, led to misunderstandings and confusion within Japan, placing an excessive burden on the 4 municipalities. Kisarazu was named as Nigeria's hometown, Nagia as the hometown of Tanzania, Sanjo was marched to Ghana, with Imabari paired with Mozambique. Victims of snake bites in Gombe State have decried the surging cost of treatment, saying it is gradually becoming out of reach for ordinary Nigerians. Some of the patients who spoke to newsmen in Kaltungo local government on Thursday appealed to both the state and federal government to act swiftly. Ali Idris, a resident of Bojude village, said he was bitten by a snake and spent 8 days in hospital. Although Idris is now recovering, he described the experience as both traumatic and financially draining. Also speaking, Abubakar Muhammad, a patient from Abuja Bula in Gombe, who spent 2 days in the hospital, said he managed to buy 1 vial of anti-snake venom for 250,000 naira, but not without great difficulty. Meanwhile, Dr. Nicholas Herman, Principal Medical Officer at the Snakebite Hospital and Research Center in Kaltungo, said both the state and federal governments were currently working to procure 5,000 vials of anti-snake venom to address the growing crisis. You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. Business, foreign, sports will return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Let's get to business. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has received 318.05 billion naira between January and August 2025 for frontier oil exploration. Now, this is according to documents from the September 2025 Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting. The deductions represent 30% of production sharing contract profit, which are automatically set aside each month for exploration in inland basins. The Petroleum Industry Act 2021 created the Frontier Exploration Fund, which mandates that 30% of profits from NNPC's production sharing contracts be channeled into oil search across underexplored basins, including Anambra, Bidda, Dahomey, Sokoto, Chad, and Benue. Further findings showed that the NUPRC in July 2025 unveiled a Frontier Basin Exploration and Development Plan detailing proposed seismic surveys, stress field detection, data integration, and wildcat drilling across basins in Benin, Dahomey, Anambra, Bida, Sokoto, Chad, and Benue. Away from Nigeria, the United Nations Rights Chief on Thursday called on Guinea's transitional authorities to lift bans on opposition parties and media outlets ahead of elections in December. Since overthrowing civilian President Alpha Conde in 2021, junta leader General Mamadi Doumbouya has ruled the country with an iron fist. Several political parties and media outlets have been suspended. Demonstrations have been banned since 2022, and many opposition leaders have been arrested, sentenced, or forced into exile. His comments came a day after Guinean Prime Minister Amadou Uriba reiterated his military government's commitment to hold the legislative and presidential elections this year. In a referendum on Sunday, Ghanaians voted to adopt a new constitution that paves the way for the elections but also permits the junta leader to run for president. In Thursday's statement, Turk lamented a brother assault on fundamental rights in Guinea since the 2021 coup that brought the junta to power. It's time for sports. Let's join Joseph Peter.
The Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) has released a statement to address recent reports and speculation regarding possible amendment to its status. NFF stated that there are no plans to amend the NFF status at the 2025 Annual General Assembly scheduled for 27 September 2025, and any suggestions to the contrary are unfounded. As part of the standard procedure, the Federation will set up a workshop which will take place on 26 September 2025 with the participation of officials from delegates representing the members of the NFF as well as FIFA and CAF officials. The purpose of this forum is to deliberate proposals for new NFF status in line with the principles of good governance and international best practices as recommended by FIFA and CAF. The NFF reaffirms its commitment to working closely with General Assembly members as well as with FIFA and CAF to ensure that all processes related to its status are conducted with due process, transparency, and full adherence to global best practices. NFF further disclosed that the ultimate objective of FIFA and CAF processes is to establish robust and enduring status that will strengthen governance within the Federation and enhance, among other things, the presentation and participation of stakeholders across NFF bodies. This long-term framework is aimed at ensuring stability, inclusivity, and progress for Nigerian football. The build-up to the first ever FIFA World Cup co-hosted by 3 nations has gained fresh momentum with the unveiling of a lively trio of mascots: Maple the Goose, Canada; Zayu the Jaguar, Mexico; and Clutch the Bald Eagle, United States. FIFA announced the mascot on Wednesday, describing them as the symbols of unity, diversity, and the shared spirit of football that will define the expanded 48-team tournament scheduled for 11 June to 19 July 2026. FIFA President Gianni Infantino said the characters will play a central role in creating the festive atmosphere of the tournament. For the first time in FIFA competition history, official mascots will also feature as playable characters in the upcoming digital football game FIFA Heroes, an arcade-style fantasy-driven 5-a-side title set for release in 2026 across mobile, console, and PC platforms. The mascot will also appear in FIFA Super League Soccer on Roblox, giving young fans opportunities to engage with them virtually through team quests and rewards. Each mascot has been crafted to reflect the heritage and culture of its host nation, with Maple the Moose embodying Canada's creativity and resilience, with a flair for art, music, and legendary goalkeeping. Zayu the Jaguar draws from Mexico's southern jungles, symbolizing agility, ingenuity, and the nation's rich tradition. Lastly, Clutch the Bald Eagle represents the United States with fearless energy, optimism, and midfield leader spirit. Beyond the digital sphere, fans will encounter Maple, Zayu, and Clutch at matches, fan zones, and community events. The trial's unveiling is part of FIFA's broader push to blend football with culture, gaming, and entertainment as the countdown to the biggest World Cup in history continues. That's Sport News. I'm Joseph Peter.
And that wraps up News Hour tonight on Trust TV. For more of our news programs, documentaries, to follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. On behalf of the news production team, thank you for joining us tonight. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Good night.